If you want that shit, if you want that Alex Jones, like, there, is that what you want? Are you happy now? Yes, reported on Pizzagate. It's a complete bunch of bullshit that made real journalists look stupid. Anything else? Any other questions I can answer for you about Pizzagate? It's an embarrassing debacle. Anything else I can tell you? Anything else? I hate bad journalism. And I hate bad journalism, especially when it's done by people who are supposedly on my side of things. Who's the White House leaker? It's not me. I'm pretty guessing it's not Steve Bannon. No, I don't think it's anybody that high up. I have no idea who the leaker is. Right. They may be on my side, but they have their own opinion. But that means they have their own feelings since they have no facts to back it up. And I don't care about people's feelings. And it's embarrassing and made people look bad who are Trump supporters. It's continued to make people look bad. So there we go. Someone's saying Bannon and Flynn, the movement's champs. I'm iffy on Flynn. Flynn going into the Pizzagate thing, to me, was a mistake. It's a perfect example of why that story was such an embarrassing disaster. So, and Flynn's done some stuff that his heart's in the right place, but I like factual accuracy. I'm a real big stickler on that. I'm a big stickler on factual accuracy. And Flynn's played a little too fast and loose a little bit. No, listen to me. I know more about Pizzagate than you do. Stop talking about Pizzagate. It's an embarrassing disaster. There's nothing that connects. The whole basis of Pizzagate was a crock of shit, which is that unproven accusation that somehow the word pizza means something other than it does. So the only way you make it mean anything is by continuing to move the goalpost, which is what losers do. Don't tell me to watch the video. Don't tell me to watch Alex Jones. I'll tell you what I think of Alex Jones. He gets shit wrong all the time. Like when he talked about the death of my friend Andrew Breitbart. He got that wrong. Here's what I've done. He's good at building clicks. Alex has been able to build a ton of clicks and make a ton of money off of suckers like you. I'm going to say it again, off of suckers like you. And the way he's done it is he gets enough stuff that's absolutely right and accurate. And I applaud him for this. But then he goes for the clickbait. He goes for the clickbait. He goes for the clickbait. I don't do that. If you want that, scurry right along. I'm not the journalist for you. I'm the guy who gets shit right every time. I'm the guy who was in front of the ISIS story because I went to Lebanon. I'm the guy who was in front of the John Edwards story when I was on the left. And I had to get kicked off Daily Kos for writing about it. I'm the guy who's the only guy who gets the Benghazi story right. I'm the guy who was on the Pigford story with Andrew Breitbart before the New York Times confirmed it. Must I go on? I'm the guy who got the shit right about Occupy Wall Street when everybody else was just going up and trolling them. Trolling is not journalism. I do journalism. So if you want somebody, if you want that, if you want that shit, if you want that Alex Jones, like, there, is that what you want? Are you happy now? If not, scurry along. I do journalism. I don't do screaming. Got it? Story after story after story after story I get right. If you want this, Alex has some survivalist supplies to sell you. So go right along, scurry along. My job is to make you smarter. That's what I do. And that's what I'll be doing tomorrow night on Breitbart News Radio, 7 to 10 p.m. I know how to scream. Lest anyone has any doubt, I know how to scream. I could do that. I choose not to. I actually make conscious decisions not to. Yeah, no, I can't. I did improv for like 10 years. I did improv comedy for a long time. I know how to act, which is what they're doing, by the way. That's acting. WikiLeaks, good question, let me ask. I don't know, I've seen people say that about the new executive order. Okay, so let me talk about WikiLeaks. I had a conversation, I had lunch yesterday with J. Christian Adams, who I love, and a former DOJ official who'll be on the radio show tomorrow. And here's what I said about WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was a tremendous resource for a serious researcher like me and other people who do serious research. So imagine this. Imagine someone was able to find the previously unseen diary of a Revolutionary War general who served, someone who served alongside George Washington or somebody like that. And you got intimate background details from that, right? The reason that that would be a phenomenal resource for historians is you have the historical timeline that we all know that's here, right? And now you have this extra layer of a historical timeline that adds depth and detail to what we know already. Does that make sense? So, WikiLeaks are that. WikiLeaks are the backstage, what was being discussed over history. And because there's so many of them, they provide a tremendous resource to anybody who's a serious researcher. But here's the problem. The problem was that because of the way they got released, people who are into sensationalism and who don't do this who aren't serious researchers, remember how things were when WikiLeaks were coming out? Like every day, people would be like, it's like 9 in the morning, okay, the WikiLeaks comes out, and everyone would start frantically searching through WikiLeaks to try to find some bombshell. And there really weren't that many bombshells. There were a couple. I would say the Donna Brazil, would you shut up about Pizzagate, you dummy? Because I'm a serious researcher and I looked into it. Are you stupid? Why are you still talking about Pizzagate? Have I not been clear enough to you? It's a stupid story. Go away. Stop wasting my time. If I see that again, I'm gonna kick you out of the room. Are you really that stupid? So, if people who are into sensationalism, and here's what I was talking about. So pay attention. Why are you talking about Pizzagate when the Donna Brazil mail scandal, for instance, Pizzagate helped kick people off? That's a huge scandal. The fact that Donna Brazil, let's go over this, not only floated questions, but knowing, Hillary Clinton knowing that she floated questions, debate questions to Hillary Clinton, knowing that made Donna Brazil the head of the DNC, that's a scandal. That's a scandal. And it's that kind of thing that the amateur hour research, the railroading Bernie was a big deal, but I'm just going to go back to that again. Hillary Clinton knew Donna Brazil had given questions in advance. And she made Donna Brazil head of the DNC. That's shocking. That is shocking. And the media just spent no time on it. And they didn't go after Roland Martin, who was pretty clear as the one who gave the questions. So for me, like, that was a bombshell. But the other things, it gave subtle shading to stuff that we kind of knew was going on. It gave a window into the way Podesta world works. And the stuff about Podesta world, Roland Martin was, it appears, I think the questions came from Roland Martin. Yeah, the media didn't want to know anything about that. And all the BS about the Russians, I'm sorry. I dealt with the person who said that they did that hack. They gave me information. That's another tragedy I don't want to get into. But Guccifer 2.0, I spoke to. I'm one of the, go look. I'm one of the 100 or so people Guccifer 2 follows. I don't think it was the Russians. I still don't think it was the Russians. I saw, and I've explained this before, but that was a big story. That was a big story. And the fact that they were scapegoating the Russians, in my opinion, to cover up for Syria. I don't know anything about the 3 IT guys. I've seen that story. It seems legit. I just don't know enough about it. And I don't pretend to know stuff I don't. It wasn't just IC people. It was CrowdStrike, who was working for the DNC. CrowdStrike was working for the DNC, and they pushed you. If you don't know who Guccifer 2 is, then you should look it up. Yes, I communicated with Guccifer 2 a number of times, and I got information from Guccifer 2 that I was not allowed to publish. That I had a week before it got published. Well, you can just guess. But I wasn't allowed to publish it, and then it came out. I didn't get anything that wasn't eventually published. Yeah, I was not allowed to publish. But I had it a week beforehand, and it was the stuff about the DCCC not being allowed to say all lives matter. I got that a week beforehand. So I know a lot about that. Guccifer 2 made a brief appearance recently and then vanished again. I don't know. Why would I not be allowed? I don't know. Caution. They're being cautious. I don't know. When you don't have your own outlet, there are advantages and disadvantages. I've had my own blog, and it would be there you go. Here's what's real. You're blocked. Bye, dummy. Bye. 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 The Syrian issue is a huge part of what was going on there, in my opinion. But anyway, I digress. So that's what it is. The WikiLeaks thing is a huge resource. But I do research-based factual journalism. Now, there's tricks to it, and I can teach you those tricks, but that's what there is. I will be talking to Brandon tomorrow night. He'll be one of the guests. We'll be talking about some stuff he hasn't even really talked about on Breitbart yet. Some very interesting stuff. You'd be surprised where drug cartels show up. It's nowhere near the border. It's fascinating stuff. And it relates to another story we'll be talking about tomorrow night as well. That's what I should do. I should do my Alex Jones impression. That's what I should do. That's close to. Alex Jones is like Steve Bannon on hyperbolic steroids. That's the key to doing the Alex Jones voice. Is you start with Steve Bannon. Steve's kind of, if you've ever heard Steve on the radio, Steve on the radio is like, you listen to Stephen K. Bannon, Breitbart News Radio. Sirius XM 125, Bob in New Jersey. You're on. How can we help you today? That's Bannon. So if you take that, right, you take that sort of low guttural like Baba voice, right, and then you just like take a hypodermic syringe, full of steroids, and pop it into your heart. You get rah, 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 and that's basically Alex Jones right there. It's like all you have to do is that, and then or the other key to doing Alex, there's also Alex when he gets is a picture you're really constipated. So maybe like a constipated, steroided Steve Bannon with a mouthful of barbecue, and then you can do Alex. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to show you, if you're trying to work on the Alex Jones, there's a great Dana Carvey explains how he does George Bush. He's done it in interviews. And he said it's a little John Wayne and a little Mr. Rogers. And if you watch his George H.W. Bush, Dana's right. That's what he's doing. It's a little John Wayne, and then he throws in a little Mr. Rogers, and that you combine and get that. So that's what I'm based on. Based on what Dana said about that. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna go. I gotta kind of be up early tomorrow. I got a show to prepare for. There you go. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you later. Hope this is entertained. Bye. If you want that shit, if you want that Alex Jones like, there, is that what you want? Are you happy now?